Hello, hello. So it's
Hi.
7 o'clock in Israel. I am there. It's 6 o'clock in Brussels. Diana Petzold is there, and it is 11 o'clock in Texas, and Isaac is there. So I want to thank you, all of you, for attending this live broadcast tonight. Tonight, at least for me. It's about peak performance for agent of change to advance mental wellness to fully enjoy living. Basically, advancing mental wellness to fully enjoy living is what is about the Mental Wellness Society. So, but the agent of change is something interesting because it's a group that Diana and Isaac are co-sharing in the Mental Wellness Society. It's a group for agent of change professional. It's for corporation, organization, uh, in industrial organization or industrial psychology. It's everything about improving and helping executive and corporation. That's one of the four groups we have. We have three other groups. One is about health and wellness. The other one is on psychology and coaching. One other one is education and parenting. Mental Wellness Society is a group of 280 members. We are on 7 continents, 72 countries, including 44 states in United States. So we are an organization of volunteers, the expert volunteering to work together, networking together. Our members are handpicked, and you can only join when you are invited to participate. So we are a professional international network of science, academy, practitioners to improve functionality by enhancing cognition and wellness. We are very much about functionality, improving how things can improve better, function better in terms of society, in terms of corporation, in terms of community, and in terms of individuals. That's what we do. So, without any further ado, I want to introduce Diana Petzold to talk about herself and her involvement with our organization. Diana.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me here. It's really a delight to be part for today for the live chat, and but also working with you, Abraham. We connected a year ago, and you kept knocking on my door, which is really amazing. And knowing that I can work now together with Isaac, that's even it's another nice package. So something about me. Um, I'm a mindset coach. I have chosen this because it really fascinates me what you can do with your mind, how you can control your choices every day and not living by chance. And when we work as an agent of change here together in different fields, and that means you don't have to be a scientist like I'm not. We can do amazing things with the Mindful Choice Academy and with the Mindful Choice program what Abraham and his peers created. Yeah.
Well, little bit more about you, Diana. You have clients. You have clients all over the world.
Yes, I
You
have.
are you are not just a coach, but you are also an uh, executive, more than a coach. You are helping executive, and you are helping them in their personal development and corporate development. And you have been also a management consultant executive, and also we can hear by your little accent that you are born in Germany. I'm born in France. Nobody is perfect here.
No,
Uh, but you are born in Germany and you live in Brussels, but you have an international career. And I know that clients really knocking at the door to be able to have time face to face with you by Zoom. But you see also corporation in Brussels where you are very active. Am I
Yes. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is true. Yes. Okay. You can hear it from my accent. I am German. I left Germany 22 years ago, and I lived in the US, in France, and now in Belgium since a couple of years. And but for me, it's also yes. I have the pleasure. I don't know. Yeah. It's for me. I'm really grateful to have clients around the globe because that really reflects me. I like diversity. I have clients from young to middle, let's say mature age in both genders or in all genders, to be correct. And when it comes to executives, it's not only in their work field, but it's also in the personal life. And I think that's really, really important that you work on yourself too, and in the personal things development. Because as more you balance with you have a great foundation. You know more about yourself. This will reflect things on your work too. And later, it's another ripple to your team and your company. Yeah. And
Diana,
you say something too, because this is the thing about a
go.
I'm a marathon runner, and what I hear from other clients when they read my bio, they often say, "I'm attracted because you are a marathon runner." And then I said, "Oops, okay." I did it, or I started it in 2016. Yes, I'm proud of it, and I did it actually out of a joke with a friend, but it really helped myself learning more about the mindset, getting to know athletes, how they work, how they achieve their goals, and knowing that this attracts my clients. I mean, it's a wonderful gift. It's a win-win situation. Yes, I have to run a marathon, but if this attracts my clients, then
I need to say also to indicate that you love traveling and your first love, need, attraction, and resourcing is about nature. But you're not a conventional person. You do motorbike, you do bicycling, you do anything which is physically challenging, and you on that's interesting things. Okay, now Isaac, you are not doing motorbike, you are not doing bicycle, you are not speaking German or French, no French, but you have a lot to tell us because when I connected with you, I was very interested with your career as a trainer in Agile and Scrum
Yep.
and how from our relation bloomed into the development of mindful choice for Scrum and Agile.
Yeah.
And but tell us about you.
Yeah, excellent. Happy to do it. Welcome, everyone. So glad you're all here
On
today
your
and
growing
joining us.
family. On your
Oh.
growing family.
My growing family, I'll definitely add that in. That's a big piece of my life right now. So I'm so happy to be here. You know, my journey as it brought me to the Mental Wellness Society started out as a technology developer. I worked with code. I worked with databases. I worked with teams, and started doing the tech lead thing. Those of you who work at all around tech, you kind of as an individual contributor, you get to a point where you start kind of leading the other members of the team. And I had a manager who asked me a question. Do you want to become a manager in the future, or do you want to become a really good individual contributor? To which I said, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And so that sent me on a bit of a journey to discover what my passion was. And I found it in taking a training course. I'd been studying Scrum on the side to help me as a team lead, but I took a training course in being an agile coach, and it absolutely captivated my attention. And I said, this is what I want to spend my time learning about and how I want to make a difference in the world. And so since that time, that was about 7 years ago, I've been studying Agile, studying Scrum, working with teams, training them, coaching them, supporting them. and then even individuals. I worked on individual coaching and developing some skills there. And now I'm at the point where I'm scaling up to how do you coach and help enterprises through the changes they have to go through with technology, with people, this switch with everyone having to work from home. How do we adapt to that? So what I'm doing today is applying what I've learned from Agile, Scrum, and working with teams and individuals and enterprises into how do we become successful at navigating all kinds of change, not just a technology disruption, but all kinds, including the one we just went through with the recent pandemic. So that led me to encountering Dr. Meyer and these ideas from the Mental Wellness Society, and it captivated me because it was very much in line with what we do with Agile, but it was almost like a missing element that the Mental Wellness Society focuses on, which really is around the whole person and around not just the processes that you're doing, but the body, the mind, and the spirit. It's the whole person aspect. And I think we'll talk about that a little bit. So it fascinated me. I'm so excited to be a part of it. And lastly, a little bit about me. I live in Texas, so I don't ride motorcycles. If I get the chance, I try to ride horses, but I do have a family. I've got 2 young ones right now, one that's 2 and one that's 1, and I've got a 3rd one on the way later this year. So I am adapting. I'm learning how to adapt to much change in my life while I'm also helping others adapt to change in their lives. So I'm really excited about our conversation today. I think we'll be able to uncover some things about peak performance in your lives. So looking forward to that conversation. Did I leave anything out, Dr. Meyer?
Well, I will come back on when we met a while ago.
Yeah.
I was explaining you that we have developed something to make Six Sigma works better, because we analyze that Six Sigma is mostly done by people who come from accounting and finance and finance management. And it's very nice, but it does not take in consideration human resistance to change.
Yes.
And it's a lot of organization, like it will be like you do for, the automated machine where you punch hole and it makes music.
Yes.
In this case, it's not you punch hole. You have human people, which by definition are anxious for the change, don't know about the change, are resilient to the change, because human are creature of habits. But not only that, it's a very mammalian response that my old bone is better than any new bone. It's my bone. This is what I know, this is what I do. So you explain me how Agile was an upgrade to organization in regard of Six Sigma. And together we were speaking about, yes, but does Agile is working on the individual part of improvement of the person, on more than the individual part, on the intrapersonal relation, because there is me and the others, okay, and that happen in organizational activities. How do you deal with others? How do you increase relation? How do you create teams? Okay, all that is well known. But me on me, how do I adapt to the world? How do I adapt to change? How do I decide on change?
Yes.
Because there is a little thing called procrastination, which does not help to change. Oh, I want to change, but I will do it another day. And I will do it when there is this and when there is that. So the list of when, if become longer.
Yeah.
So that's where we found that there was a good match with what we are doing at the Mental Wellness Society, which is applying in different dimensions, because it can be in education, it can be in psychology, it can be in health and wellness, the concept of peak performance and the concept of choice. I choose to change and I do what I choose. So with that, the subject we agreed we wanted to discuss tonight is how we can instill mindful choice, which is a choice made by the mind, not a choice made by the brain. Because if it is by the brain, then it's following your emotion. Your emotions are hardwired in the brain. It's very quick. And most of it, the reaction of emotion are creating the fight, flight, freeze in any human because we are mammalian. But when we are in that mode, which can lead to under stress to tunnel vision effect, on accident, on PTSD, and other things, burnout, so on. You want to be we have as humans something supplementary on other mammalian, which is a prefrontal cortex. I would even say more than the prefrontal cortex, the new brain. There is the old brain for mammalian, and there is a new brain on the old brain for the human. How do we tap in the new brain, in the prefrontal cortex? Because this is where you decide, you choose, you evaluate, and so on. So the conversation that we are trying to introduce here is how do we bring and develop resilience, because resilience is what is more and more needed in society. Compare with the past. The people in mental health, they were considering when it was created in 19th century, that the people were sick. We at the Mental Wellness Society, that is not what we do. That's why we don't speak about mental health, but the mental wellness. Because the wellness, you choose what type of well-being you want to live, and you get involved. In the mental health, you are not very much involved. The professionals are giving you a pill, a diagnostic, maybe an intervention, whatever it is. But the client is called a patient because he's patiently waiting that an improvement comes. And the improvement in that case is to reset him before he got a problem. With the Mental Wellness Society, we are not talking about problem because we are positive psychology. We are talking about what is the outcome, positive outcomes that we want to achieve. And to do that, the client, the person, is involved, and he chooses what type of well-being he wants to have, what destination he wants to have in life. So we are applying something in industrial psychology could be called backward design, but we have the same in human factor. We start not by the problem, not by the past. We say your past does not condition your future. Yeah. You can choose at any moment a different future than your past if you choose and if you do what you need to do to be there. But you choose and you make a decision. So that's why we speak about a life by design and not a life by accident. It's not where the life is pushing you. It's not where the boss is pushing you. It's not where you do what you can do by going at the door which is open because the other one are closed. No, you open the door you want, and you don't open the other door that are noise for you. Yes. That's a choice. So let's talk about that because I know you applied it for yourself, and I know that Diana is doing it herself too, sometimes with different words, but we all do the same thing. So, Isaac, you want to start?
Yes, I do. And you're right. This is something that personally I've had experience with, and I've been able to see the benefit of applying these ideas that you just talked about. And I want to call out two elements of what you just said that I think personally really resonate with me in my journey, really as far back as last year, or as I should say as recently as last year. The first one is awareness. And I think that what happens and what I see so often with teams I'm coaching, individuals I'm coaching, or even in enterprises, is there's this sense of this is just the way it is, right? These things are happening and let's just figure out how to survive. And there's no awareness that the doors are even there. So you're talking about these doors and making the choice to go to the door. And I found a lot of people that I've coached, once we go through some coaching activities, to see their problems or their situation in a different light, a little bit of a reframing, all of a sudden they say, aha, there's doors and there's opportunities. And so for me, I've learned a lot of the techniques and skills, but even for me, having someone like you, Dr. to say, looking at your situation, do you see other doors here? Let's be intentional about looking for other alternatives instead of simply throwing up our hands and saying, life is what it is, and this is what I've got, and I have no alternative, right? Let's engage that brain, that second brain, and say, let's think slowly about what we want to do. And then we have a choice, and we're enabling ourselves to make an intentional choice. And then you want to have support stepping through those. So let me say this. I think the highest for us as individuals would be to get to a place where we regularly practice taking control of our lives, where we regularly practice, what are my options? What am I choosing? And how do I go forward? I call that intentional living. And I'm striving myself and to help others that I coach to live intentionally, making choices and then following through with them. Sometimes you need a second person or even a third person to give you a change in perspective to enable you to see that you do have a choice. And so I'm so thankful for the people in my life who've helped me see that I have choices. And I think the second piece for me is once you've made that choice and you want to go through it, following through is I think one of the hardest things. When I coach teams that are scrum teams, let's say, they have a retrospective, they identify these are problems, we should change this, this, and this. And then they leave, and then they come back 2 weeks later, and we say, okay, what are some issues that we could improve this sprint? And they say, well, we have these problems. And it's like, wait, those are the same problems that we had last time. We weren't doing anything to improve them. We identified them, okay, but we weren't actually doing the activities, making the choice, as you said, to change them. We just say that's bad and that's the way it is. And then we go about stuff, we get busy, and we don't come back and actually make the decisions and make the choices that will improve us. So I think it's really important to develop the ability to see your possibilities, see the doors that are available to you, choose it, and then make sure that you follow through. And I know for me, having someone to help coach me in that, I'm getting better and better. And I look forward to helping people develop the ability internally to make those choices for themselves, see the possibilities and make those choices and follow through with them. I think that's where the power of what we're talking about here really lies.
Before giving Diana to add her piece to that, you are touching two subjects which are important on what you say. Number one, we help to see a binary system because a human cannot think about three possibilities at the same time. It's this or that. That we can do. A computer can do many things at the same time, not human. And if you do this or this or that, it creates a flight, fight, freeze situation. You hesitate, you don't know. That's number one. Number two, if you only see one choice, one possibility, one choice, you're already in a dysfunctional state because you cannot choose. It's not to have one. It's not a choice. It's a forced choice, but it's not a free choice. So the choice is to see always two possibilities. And if you don't see two possibilities, then it's a problem. And then what you were touching is to continue to do it. For us, it's a good choice versus a bad choice. And the good choice is taking you quicker, faster to your destination. And the bad choice is taking you further or longer from your destination. It's as simple as that. But if you already qualified everything, you can take everything in your life. And is it bringing me to my destination faster or longer? Is it taking me there or somewhere else? You can always change your journey. How do you go there? You can go by plane, you can walk, you can do this, but the destination has to remain the same until you reach it. And that's important, the continuity you were explaining. I am using here the tool on our way to express it, but it was what you were bringing at. Diana.
Yeah. Well, what can I add? What I would, when you said you're standing in front of the door and you cannot see the other doors, it really helps when you zoom out. You see the situation from a distance, and maybe even you have the courage, or someone helps you to change the story, to change the view. And then suddenly you see different doors, different opportunities, and then you have choices. And yes, it's good to make it. And it's also, like Dr. Meyer said, it's the mind, because the mind doesn't know if it's tomorrow, today, or yesterday, and you are in control of things of your mind. And knowing this is a masterpiece of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and in time, you need also to realize and appreciate the time, because the time goes that you want it or not. So you need to learn how to deal with the time in regard of your objective on the time, on your own resource.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then also when we hear all those noises in our head, or from the team, from the others, we are really not focusing anymore, and we like to follow the others instead of our intuition. So that's also when we take a distance, yeah, and then really listening to it. And is this really the same story? If we turn down the volume, how does the sound is now, or maybe we change the voice, like it's not our voice, it's a different voice. It totally changes your view on the subject, and then it's easier to make a choice.
If you can be, what you say is great. If you can manage not to let your emotion get in.
Yeah.
Because if your emotion gets in, the lizard, the primal reaction, the lizard is deciding for you, not the smart person. So we apply some things that we apply and we share with one each other. Is if I can change the way you think, it will change the way you feel and the way you act. So there is a big difference between the emotion and the feeling. The emotion come very quick, and they are biochemical, and you have the choice not to act on it or not act on it. That's it. And then it goes to your mind, but in your mind you have a thought. But if you change the way you think, and that's where we bring the concept of an attitude, a positive, because you can very well have also a culture of negative attitude. It's bad habits, but you need to fight. We all need to fight to have a positive attitude in order to have even a negative thought, change it in a positive thought, to have a positive feeling in order to reach the objective we want. That's the process where we are talking about. Anything to add on that, or we can go on the next subject, line of subject? We move on?
Let's go on.
We'll go forward. So much there, but let's move forward.
Okay. So, number one, let's see if we have any remark or question there is no question that I can see from the participants, from the people. There is technical question about logging in, logging out, but I don't see any question. If anybody have a question, it's your time. It's the moment to ask your question, because this is a question for audience segment. So anybody have any question? No? Okay, so we continue. Good.
Don't be shy.
Let's continue, but we are pretty much on time. So the subject we wanted to discuss today is what coping skill and strengths should be particularly developed for positive personal efficiency. So we are talking about positive personal efficiency. And we can put on the screen, we have something, we have the 4 steps that we use. The step 1 is recognition, recognizing what is at play, what is happening, what could be done. So it's recognition, recognizing things like they are, not as we want to see them, recognizing the whole picture, the full picture, as would say Diana. Then we have awareness. And the awareness is to know what can I do. So in the recognition, you have an idea of where is your destination. The awareness is to be aware of how can I reach my destination? What do I need to do to get to my destination? So we are in the preparation of doing, but we are now reduce the possibilities and we are aware of what we don't want to do and what we want to do. And then we are aware of what needs to be done to reach it. And then we make a choice. And that choice is to choose. Now we choose how to implement, how to reach that goal, how to reach that destination. And this is the moment of choice. On the moment of choice, you don't second guess. You don't come back in, should I do this or should I do that? Because if you have done your job with awareness, you can choose exactly what you want to do because you cannot do everything. And what to do is also in regard of time. When you have done that, you have done an action, you have done something. Something is putting you in the right direction. On that, and when we say choice, choice is for the mind and the body too, because you want to lose weight, but if your mind does not take you to your car in order to go to the gym, you won't go there. So you need to work mind and body, and that's where we are, because even breathing well is something that you need to learn. Many people will come back on that, but many people don't know that there is a way to breathe better in order to remain calm and have more clarity in your mind. Same with the sleep, same with the food you have. So there is a way where your mind and your body can work together to really be the optimal of what you can do. And it brings you to peak performance for mind and body. That's what we are talking. On peak performance of positive personal efficiency. You are positive by attitude, and you want to be personally efficient. And if the people in the corporation are not personally efficient, you can make any wish you want for the corporation or for the team. It won't work. It has to boil by the person being personally efficient.
Yes.
And after that, you have self-evaluation. And you have the self-evaluation, which is very interesting, because the self-evaluation is not about you, but is about how well you did the process, how close you come to your way to reach your destination or being in the right path. How can you improve it? And life is a repeat. We go to bed, and the next day we have to repeat a decision in life. We make close to 45,000 decisions in a day. And many of them we are not aware that we make them by automatism. So we are talking here about being conscious, making conscious choice for what you want to reach. So the self-evaluation is about the process, not about you. And what do I need to improve to make the process? So that brings you to recognition again, to recognize how to improve the process, to be awareness of what needs to be improved, and it continue. The interesting things of that we have, we are using it also ourselves for the Mental Wellness Society. We have been involved in some activity in Ukraine. We'll speak about it in a few minutes. But in order to achieve the goal we have with what we want to do in Ukraine, we apply the process. And we realize, for example, what we do is great, but we need to go with more people, and we need to have more volunteer, and we have to do, because we want to help more people in Ukraine, just an happy few. So this is a recognition of we don't help enough people. And how do we reach them? So we came up with a conclusion. For example, we will use WhatsApp and connect one Ukrainian in America with one Ukrainian in Ukraine. And then we need to train them. And we need to achieve that come by the choice. How do we do it when we do it? But we can apply it to ourselves, to our family situation, to our society, to our corporation, to our team. It's not just about us. It's about what we do. So the Mental Wellness Society have 4 groups of professionals, but we decided that because of what happened in Ukraine, we needed to get involved in Ukraine because one of the members, Victor Vus, is in Ukraine, an Ukrainian. So we decided to help him, and we created a task force, and we all went to do a lot of things on training and doing a lot of things. That was good because now we can help also other country with a disaster which can be man-made, or like the situation in Ukraine, man-made by Putin, or natural disaster, which can be a tsunami or other things. So this is the example of positive personal effectiveness, the success of a group, the success of the society, the success of a common project or a personal project or family project.
Yes.
Is to have a positive personal effectiveness. Same with your spouse, same for you and your family. It applies everywhere. So that's what we try to do, each of us with the knowledge of each other, because the Mental Wellness Society is a big toolbox with specialists all over the world. We have people who do drum therapy, color therapy. We have a lot of, I will not say exotic, but very unique type of activity. But all together, we work together because we are more knowledgeable together.
Yes.
And we help each other. Your point of view, Diana?
Well, you are just like a fountain. This is just amazing listening to you. Yeah, I mean, what you created, it's just incredible. What I love, it's because it's global. And coming to our group from Isaac and myself, we would love to have more people in the group. I think if someone just is attracted to it, and you want to be part of it, please connect to me or with Isaac, and we have a personal chat with each other, and then we see where we can put ourselves together. That's from my side. And I think that's the beauty when we have all different colors or flavors coming in, and then we can create something amazing and to support and to help others. And it's about the result, what we want to give. Yeah. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
see.
we have training. We have a lot of, okay. And what about you, Isaac?
Oh, I really love everything you just said. And, you know, as I look at, again, Agile, and this is part of my bent, I look at everything through an Agile lens. We have these things kind of like Six Sigma. We have these processes, these frameworks that we go through to help decide on what are we going to do as a team? What are we doing as a company? You know, vision setting, goal setting, all that. But often that kind of stops at the level of the team or the work group. Maybe it touches on the individual a little bit, but what you just described with the Mindful Choice, that loop for individual success and really individual health, I just think it's so wonderful that we look one layer back from the group doing the work or the individual as a worker. We go one level back and see the individual as a person that themselves needs to be healthy to make the unit healthy and whole. And so to Diana's point and what we're doing in the group, we'd love to see people connect with us, because what I love about the Mental Wellness Society, we are different and we have different areas of focus, but what we're trying to build is a team of healthy individuals who do this process, who can then help others become healthy individuals who can make healthy systems. And so whether that system is supporting what's going on in Ukraine, or whether that system is getting a business objective done or raising a family, whatever that objective is for personal effectiveness, we're focusing on how do we make the individual, how do we help them be healthy, strong, resilient? Because then if we have a bunch of healthy, strong, resilient individuals, we can have incredible teams, societies, organizations, countries, world. It's really powerful what these ideas are, starting at the individual, not starting at the individual as a worker or the team as an output unit. So it's just really powerful. And just echo Diana's invitation to be a part of what we're trying to develop. How do we be healthy change agents who encourage healthy change, not demanded, imposed, painful change that people run away from or get burnt out on? That's not what we want. We want to be enabling the future wave of healthy change. So we're so excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, and also in what you said, what we can sum up, what are the elements which are deterrent to success?
Yes.
And there is really three, I would say. The first one is not to look at reality. And for example, in Ukraine, fake news. And we have to be very careful not to vehiculate not unreal information. Same in a corporation, not to become the gossiper, not to become talk about our emotions, but to talk about fact. Fact. I'm a scientist, and I don't care if it goes that way or that way. Fact is a fact. The second thing is the biggest cause of problems for everybody, you, me, a corporation, everybody, are the root cause of all problems are either inattention or impulsivity. And a decision made by inattention, get distracted, or you don't have all the information you want, and you think you know, but what you knew yesterday is not necessarily valid for tomorrow. That's the story of Black Monday on the stock exchange. You need to look at things. Things change. Things are movable. You need to pay attention to those details. On impulsivity, because impulsivity is emotional. And it's very interesting because a study we have shows that there is many CEO of company or people who are self-incorporated. They are like that, or even a truck driver by himself. They are like that because they don't want to take order of other people. We have discovered that many of them are eventually non-diagnosed ADHD. Nothing wrong with that. But when you know, so that's why we have tests online and we have analytics. But when you know that if you have ADHD, then you know you need to pay more attention and you need a little bit help to be more efficient, or at least put all your strengths on 20% of the time where you can really concentrate. The rule of the 20-80, Pareto law. But that is important, dealing with reality. So that's what we are talking about. So if you want to join our task force on Ukraine, we are helping Ukraine. We train people to help we train people to help other people. We have on the website information in English and in Ukrainian. We even go to making video to teach you how to relax your head, your hands, in order to be able to sleep better in terrible, distressing situation. Because your body, you need to take care of your body for your body to help your mind.
Yes.
So that's what we do. Please join us with that. We also have the Mental Wellness Society have created an academy. It's the MindFulChoice Academy, which is helping people to have success by clarity, focus, energy, well-being. That's our 4 pillars. So we have books, we have an online course, we have something which is amazing, which are system of cards and flashcards, which are iconic situations. For example, this one, it will be the past does not condition your future. and we have many of the concepts we were speaking, which are in those cards. But the Academy is creating course by all the members of the Mental Wellness Society, not all, the one who decide, the one who have the knowledge to be able to teach to others about biofeedback, about parenting, about a lot of things. Organization, agile, all of the members are becoming part of our faculty on our training. We are on the process of selecting the program. Once we have 30 programs, which, by the way, some of them will deliver diploma from University of Northwestern Oregon University with diploma, but there is also credit for professional development. So the interest of that is our experts are teaching what they know. They do it every day. They know what works. So they share professional expertise, but also we cross-pollinize. We learn from one each other. And that's a way for us to learn. And that academy is obviously online. So we are an online academy. So, Diana, a last word?
Now, what shall I say? I think figure it out, check the websites, what Dr. Meyer just said. It's really interesting just to have a peek, get involved, get in touch with us, and never forget that you are your own CEO of your own life. No, that you're the CEO of your own life. So sorry.
And it impacts others.
Of course, but it's just realizing that you are your own CEO. That's already magnificent, yeah, and powerful. So never forget this. Yeah.
I'll just say, I'll echo that and just say, your peak performance matters, not to make a lot of money or to make a big name for yourself. How you show up every day matters to your family, the people who are close to you, the people you're serving, right? In some capacity, one way or another, you impact other people. And the more that you can develop resilience, develop these skills we've talked about, and show up for high performance, it's not just a selfish thing. It's we talk about it often in the Mental Wellness Society. It's putting on your own oxygen mask first so you can then be enabled to help others. So do whatever you can to develop your resilience, increase your performance, not in some selfish way, but in a way that you can leave an impact and impact those close to you that you care about while you're on this earth. It's something that, to me, is the greatest calling we have.
Thank you so much. Somebody is asking about the website. We have two websites. The one you see right now is www.community.mentalwellnesssociety.com. It takes you to the Task Force for Ukraine, and it's our global network platform for the member to communicate with each other. You don't need to be registered. You don't need to do anything. Just come. The second website is www.mentalwellnesssociety.com. That's really the Mental Wellness Society, where you can have also a lot of free books, a lot of webinars, free, a lot of things to learn from there. So that's what you can see there. So I want to thank you, everyone, for your participation, your engagement, your passion, and for the two of you. Next week, we have on April 6th, Neville Gant from London, and he's a specialist about to do and achieve and not just contemplate. Neville have made a book, amazing book. We will be talking about that book, all what you should know that you never learn in school. And that will be very interesting. So please join us next week, same time, 7 o'clock in Israel, 7 o'clock in Israel, midday in New York, and 6 o'clock in Brussels. Okay, thank you so much. And
Maya.
this is the first of one event where I'm sure that Isaac and Diana will have the opportunity to speak with their tribe of agent of change and grow from there. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
have a good night. Have a good week. Have a
Yeah.
good year.
Thank you.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye bye.
Hi,
Bye bye.
everyone.